The original text of this story contains links back to all referenced prior stories for context. A link to the text post can be found in the video's description.
Frequently, I find myself waiting on the other shoe to fall. This is not like an active thing in the very least, but for someone with my kind of history, it is just kind of understood that bullshit begets bullshit. I'd say trust me, but I'm comfortable that most of you are not new here. And even if you are, there are hundreds of thousands of published words to make the case. So, it's late summer now. The rains of the early midsummer started winding down a few weeks ago and were replaced with a welcome cool down in temps. This series of elements saw to it that when I caught up with my lawns, that I offered to move all my clients off of scheduled lawn work to as needed, so as not to be a greedy person for their money. I say that to say I was bored. To combat the malaise, I decided to open up the Mo Phillips email and see what I could make shake. I started back at the end of August. The first one I acknowledged, a doozy she was. Mo, I own a few rental properties. This started with me being the first of my parents' kids to own our own place. When my parents passed, it was willed that each of me and my siblings would receive one of their rental properties to do as we will. My sister moved in, my brother put his up for sale, and I just maintained the lease with the tenant that was in mine. With first right of refusal, I made an offer on my brother's and continued to rent that one out. That is the one I'm asking about today. Back in June, my tenant called me and said she was having some money troubles and would be late with her rent, but wouldn't have enough to cover the late fee, and asked if there was anything I could do. Strangely, she had called me to have this conversation in person and was wearing next to nothing when she came to the door. She was extra handsy while making her request, and, long story short, we had sex. I left her with an agreement to take half the rent and call that good for the month. No late fee. All throughout June, she'd text and invite me over, and we'd do the do. Well, come July, she hits me with the same deal, and I accepted. Same thing happened all through August. She is almost treating this like a relationship wherein I pay half her rent in exchange for sex. September is coming up, and I need her to understand that my properties, most of which I own outright now, are my income, and I cannot keep taking shorts like this. How can I break this to her that I want, no, need my money? Shit. I specifically told her this. That she would take that information and do it anyway is on her. Luckily for me, however, 1, this was all her idea as he describes it, and 2, I gave her that advice as Phlip, and she has no clue who Mo is. I'm well insulated from this. He is, however, expecting an answer. Me. The response to this is simple. Stop fucking. There can naturally be no quo where there is no quid. When she starts to hit you up mid-month for some winky, decline or just don't respond until way later. Make a point of not accepting the coital favors at all, and then be ready to accept your full rent at the beginning of the month. If she tries to weasel, then you start doing as you can legally do. You presented this as all her idea and not a result of your coercion, and I hope you've kept the text messages as receipts of this fact. The short answer is simply to stop engaging. I don't care how good it is. I can't imagine how someone who can parlay one home and one inheritance into a good income can turn and lack the common sense to not get into such a situation in the first place and let themselves get stuck in it for 3 months in the second. Whatever. I can't make assumptions of people's intelligence, even when there is an active observation that they're pretty capable. Well, I'm washing my hands of this one. He has his instructions on how to break from it. And now I have the inevitable callback from her when she is not able to get half off her rent for services. If his email was the other shoe dropping, her callback will be the first one redropping. Worry not, you'll be brought up on that when she calls.